beneath, and hey, I gotta listen to them. No, you always want to I want to keep their attention by staying on top. So if they ask me a question and I can't answer that question, and that kind of makes you look like you confused, don't understand, or why you got to go to somebody else to ask? Why don't you know? You say you believe in this, or why you got to wait till later to answer my question? But it's the best way to do it is to go refer them to someone else or come to Bible study or whatever like that. But I always refer them, I give them a number that they can call and ask the question or whatever, anything to keep from losing them. But it's just that, I've had it happen. They like, oh, well, you don't know what you're talking about. I thought it's not that. I'm only going to stay where I know that I'm not going to add to the Lord's word and take away. If I don't understand it, I'm not going to try to break it down to you. If I don't understand it myself, then I'll be giving you something wrong.
True. Yeah, that's pretty much the right thing to do. I mean, even if you lose the momentum, I've had people do that, and they still, when they got a question, they want to run to me. Even after I done lost momentum, they, hey, Will, So, hey, you can do as the best you can. I can't really think of a scripture to go with that question, but you can do as the best you can with that, and just keep referring, well, Isaiah, just get an answer and bring it to him the next time.
Like in Revelation where it talks about the people being part of the first resurrection, which God was for the wilderness. In the second resurrection, are everyone that's in the second resurrection, are they just automatically on their way to the lake of fire? Or is it one of those, maybe they might get in, maybe they might not?
Yeah, that's a good question. We can go and read about it in Revelation. Because now, to start it off, no, it's not an automatic to the lake of fire, but actually, the second resurrection would be judgment. The first resurrection, you're automatically in. All the dead that's going to be everything that's going on in the first resurrection is automatic. But second resurrection, that's when you're going through judgment and you're going through that whole, Lord putting everything forth to see what He's going to do with you. Let's go to Revelation. Let's go to Revelation. I think I want 20. We kind of read a little bit of it earlier. Revelation 20 and I'm going to start at verse 12. Let's just start where we were at earlier. Let's go start at verse 12.
20 and 12?
Yeah, 20 and 12. Go ahead.
All right. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before God, and those books were open, and another book was open, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things which are written in the books, according to their works. And the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them, and they were judged every man according to their works. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire.
Okay, so yeah, this is all during this second resurrection, because you know you bag up, you see after the first resurrection, you got the 1,000 year. We can read into that. We can read into that and then see where they started talking about verse 12. Bag up and read verse 4 for me.
And I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Jesus, and for the word of God, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. And they lived and reigned with Christ 1,000 years.
Mm-hmm.
But the rest of the dead lived not again until the 1,000 years were finished. This is the first resurrection.
Go ahead, verse 6. We'll throw that in there.
Blessed and holy is he that hath part in the first resurrection. On such the second death hath no power, but they shall be priests of God and of Christ, and shall reign with him 1,000 years.
Okay, so yeah, we should have started. I started to start there first. But yeah, you see the difference with the first resurrection. It's automatic, you know. On the day of the Lord, when he called the dead first, and they are transformed right at that moment. Judgment has been made for them. So they in. And they going to reign with Christ for these 1,000 years. And it's saying verse 5, but the rest of the dead live not again until 1,000 years were finished. This is the first resurrection. So again, the second resurrection, now the rest of the dead going to be raised, and the living people then, they going to be, and they're going to be judged through the book of life. You know, so their names have got to be written. So that's why we just push for it. Hey, we want to strive for that first resurrection, because it's automatic. You know, again, second resurrection, some people going to make it, but you there sweating. You know, you got to stand there sweating bullets, wondering what the judgment about to be. So yeah, we definitely want the first resurrection if at all possible. But if I can still make it on the second resurrection, hey, as long as I'm in there, Lord tell me, Will, when you walk through there, close that door and lock it. Hey, Lord, hey, I'm in. I'm in. That's all I want to hear. Yeah. So hopefully that kind of answered that question.
Definitely.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm kind of new to the truth, so how do you know, where can I find in the Bible that this is the way that I'm supposed to be living my life, like the way I'm supposed to be going? Where can I find that at?
Where can you find that at? That's a good question. Well, I'd like to start in Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter. Because this kind of sums up the whole matter, and then we can go from there. Ecclesiastes 12, and I'll pick it up at verse 13. Go ahead.
Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man.
Okay, so I mean, this is one of the best places I know to start, because, I mean, I can't tell you to follow this denomination or follow that denomination, because there is no denomination in the Bible. I mean, not one of them you're going to find in the Bible. Catholicism, Judaism, Baptist, MBBC. I mean, none of these things exist in the Bible. You know, these are all made up titles. Pentecostal. I mean, these nobody. There's no religion in the Bible. It was either believers or non-believers. If you believed, you kept God's commandments. If you didn't believe, you kept whatever else you was doing. I mean, there were choices all the way through the Bible. There was always a choice, you know, of what people wanted to do. But the conclusion of the whole matter is fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. Now, where can we go from there? We can go to a few places. We can go and start reading what God's commandments are and see if that's, you know, something that, you know, hopefully you would want to do, because that's the best place to start. You know, is with God's commandments, which we can start as simple as the 10 Commandments in Exodus 10. You know, because everything the Lord gave was for the world. It wasn't just for no certain individual. It wasn't for just Israel. It wasn't for no specific people or person. It was for everybody. You know, so it wasn't, you know, like we can say, that's why I spoke of earlier about the Israelite thing. I don't really go that direction a whole lot, because if people just read their Bible and understand what their purpose is, then things will make a lot better sense. Something else I wanted to read, and I forgot what it was. I think it's in Romans. It'll come back to me in a second. Let's go over to, I can start here. This is a good way. Let's go to Ephesians 6 chapter. Ephesians 6. Now let's pick it up at verse 10. Go ahead.
Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints.
Okay, so I mean, this is just a outline, just like we just read in Ecclesiastes, was a sum of everything to fear God and keep his commandments. Well, the Lord is letting us know that, hey, it's not an equal playing field out here either, because there's just so many choices. I asked this question when I was young and never got an answer as well about what am I supposed to believe? You know, how am I supposed to believe what because I mean, I just figured that everything couldn't be right, because if everything was right, then you wouldn't have so many decisions. You have one big group, and everybody can come there, and why would I need all these other churches? You know? So, I mean, this is something that we can put on and start, especially with praying for some truth and understanding. I was going to go to Romans 3, but I just thought of something else we can go. Let's go to, my train of thought, I'm losing quick. Where was I going to go? Okay, I guess I will go to Romans to come back to me. Let's go to Romans 3. Oh, I know what it was. Oh, Romans, I think we're going to go to Matthew.
You said Matthew?
No, not Matthew. Let's go to Ephesians. I thought it was Matthew. Oh, Romans, we're running Ephesians and then come back to Matthew. Come back to Romans. Ephesians 4. Ephesians 4, pick it up at verse 4. Ephesians 4 and 4.
There is one body and one spirit, even as ye are called in one hope of your calling, one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God and Father of all, who is above all and through all and in you all.
Okay, so I said we gonna go here and there, but praying to the Lord for some truth and understanding, some wisdom and understanding, like we read in Proverbs earlier about getting wisdom, and along with getting wisdom, get some understanding. But understand this, that it was always one. This is Jesus' goal. Is one faith. Jesus came and he preached one thing, and it wasn't to no 1,000 different denominations. You know, he preached one exact faith, and that's all we're gonna get. And the only thing that we can line that up to is with the script. You know, as everybody else pretty much just take pieces of here or there, or at least some people, some classes at least will go get their own Bible and try to make something out of their own Bible to say, this is what I believe. Like I use the example of the Quran. At least they took the time to go and get their own book and say, hey, this is what we're going to believe. Instead of going to the Bible, where God is not an author of confusion, and he wants oneness, and he's going to have oneness. You know, and how do we find that oneness, or that one faith, like we said, we read here in verse 5, one Lord, one faith, one baptism. You know, one God, the Father of all, who is above all and through all and in you all. So that's ultimately what the goal is going to be. It's going to be one. You know, either you're a believer or you don't believe. What do you want to believe? You're going to believe that, hey, God's laws and statutes are real, and that, hey, if we follow them, then we're going to be rewarded. That's the best we can do. You know, he promised us that, you know, that if we do what he say, that we will be rewarded. So, I mean, that's the page that we want to be on. You know, and what did he tell us to go and look for this at? He told us, now let's go to Romans. I think I was going to Romans 3. Because where does the church come in? Hey, the church come in as far as, well, let's go, hold the finger here, Romans again. I'm trying to make a point. I'm just all over the place. Let's go to Exodus 19. Then we'll come right back to Romans, hopefully. I don't think it's something else. Exodus 19. All right, let's go to Exodus 19 and pick it up at verse. Because the story of Israel being in the wilderness, coming out of Egypt, is a must-told story to show how the Lord started this thing off and getting his church together. You know. Exodus 19 and pick it up at verse 3.
And Moses went up unto God, and the Lord called unto him out of the mountain, saying, Thus shalt thou say unto the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel, Ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bare you on eagle's wings, and brought you unto myself. Now therefore, if you will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests, and an holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel.
Okay, so in this instance, Moses' job was to go and remind Israel how the Lord brought them out of Egypt, and let them know what purpose that they was coming out of Egypt for. You know, because he just didn't do all this just to say, hey, I feel sorry for this, this random people and want to get them out of slavery. And I'm sure it was other nationalities in hard times back then as well, but hey, he had a goal for this people. You know, and he was setting up his church back here in the wilderness. So he told him, if you will obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. And ye shall be unto me a what? A kingdom of priests, and a holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel. So I threw this in here just to go to show that, hey, the Lord had a church, and a lot of people think the church is the building. And the church is not a building. The church is the people. The church wasn't never no building. The church was walking around back in these days in a tent. And they would pitch a tent. They would put the Ark of the Covenant inside the tent, do all this with the veil of the temple and all these things that the Lord wanted them to do. But it wasn't never about no physical building like it is now. People think the bigger the building, the better the church going to be. The church was a people. Period. That's the next verse we're going to go to in Acts 7. That the church was always a people. Acts 7. Still got my finger in Romans. Acts 7, and then we're going to pick it up we're going to get right back into this Moses.
38.
Yeah, that's the meat of it. I want to read down into it. let's back up and start at verse 36. Probably need to go higher up, but we'll start there.
He brought them out. After that, he showed wonders and signs in the land of Egypt, and in the Red Sea, and in the wilderness 40 years. This is that Moses which said unto the children of Israel, a prophet shall the Lord your God raise up unto you of your brethren, like unto me. Him shall ye hear. This is he that was in the church in the wilderness
This
with
is
the
he.
angel.
This is he that was in the what? The church. In the wilderness, with the angel was expecting him in the Mount Sinai with our fathers who received the lively oracles to give unto us. Because that's what the Lord was giving them in the wilderness, was what they needed to do to be the priests. You know, he didn't set them up in Exodus 19 and just said, hey, you're going to be a peculiar treasure and be the priest. He had to set them up. And that's why very well right into Exodus 20, if you go and read that chapter, that he started giving them the commandments so they can know what to do to be the priest. Because you can't just be the priest and not know what your job is going to be and what you need to be doing. That's what the whole chapter of Leviticus is all about, the law that he gave to the priests so they could give to the rest of the people. So that was the church. And if you wanted to go to the church, you had to go by way of a people. Not go look for a building, but for a people. I got another place in mind. Let's go over to, I get to typing too fast and get excited. I can't. Let's go over to Matthew 10. Since we on that note, I still got Romans in the back of my mind. Matthew 10. Because even when Jesus was on the scene, you know, people have a tendency to think that, hey, God is about all people. He just come to want to just be with anybody, and that might be all true, but he has an order. And his order is, you know, for people to come through his church to find him. Because he didn't give it to know anybody. You can't just go to know any nationality to find it. But when Jesus came, let's see where he went to. When he came on the scene, where did he go? Let's go, where we at? Matthew 10. Matthew 10 and pick it up at verse 5.
These 12 Jesus sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not. But go rather into the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And as ye go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
Okay, so he's telling these 12 disciples, you know, he commanded them, hey, go not into the way of the Gentiles, and to any city of the Samaritans enter ye not. But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Why was this so important that they didn't go to nobody else? Because Jesus knew if he would have got the church together, everybody else would have fell in place. You know, he wasn't, and then he did later on, he did set up something for the Gentiles to be included. But he told the 12, hey, I don't even want y'all to go that way. I don't want you to go to Samaritans. I don't want you to go to the Gentiles. I want to go to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Because that's what was most important. We get Israel together, hey, we can get the world together. And that's prevalent to this day. If Israel get together today, the world got a better shape. But without the church, without Israel being in the captivity and not even knowing what their job is, who they are, what they supposed to be doing, this whole world is heading into a place that everybody act like is not going to happen. You know, the world is as much wickedness and destruction as we see in this world today, that our pastors still sit here and act like it's going to be a better day tomorrow. And instead of getting worse and worse and worse. And why is that? Because the people, hey, Lord got to get this people straight. But Jesus wanted to go to the lost sheep of Israel. And now we can go to Romans 3 and see why. You know, one of the places, why? Why did he want to go to them? Romans 3, and pick it up at verse 1.
What advantage then hath the Jew? Or what profit is there of the circumcision? Much every way, chiefly because that unto them were committed the oracles of God.
Okay, so what advantage then have the Jew, or what profit is there of circumcision? Much every way, chiefly because that unto them were committed the oracles of God. So they were given everything that God had to give. God appointed them to priests, which means, hey, you're going to be the teacher, you're going to be the go-to guy. You can't make every nationality the go-to guy. Just like you can't have everybody in the country of America be the president. Everybody can't be the president. You only got one. And if you want to deal with some presidential issues, where do you got to go? You got to go to one place. You know, you're going to go to Washington, D.C., and you're going to see the president. Or the same thing for the governor of the state or what have you. Everybody can't do that. So since he appointed some priests, he gave them the oracles of God, meaning they got everything God wants man to know. They hold the key. Then that's where we got to go. We want to learn that knowledge. And I tell people this, even if we're not the real Israelites, maybe we're not. But wherever Israel is at, that's where we need to go get this word, according to this Bible. No matter if we might be Hamites. I don't know. You know, people want to talk about, oh, well, you so mixed and this. Hey, it don't matter. We got to go through Israel to get through this kingdom. We don't believe me? Let's go to Revelation. Let's go to the last book. And we're going to see what's going to be there to get into this kingdom. You know, because everybody sing a song, and I don't know how it go. I can't sing about them golden gates and getting into this kingdom. Well, let's see. Revelation 21. I'm right here looking right at it. Revelation 21. Oh yeah, Revelation 21. I think this is what I want. Yeah, this is what I want. Okay, this is talking about the kingdom of God. This is talking about where everybody claiming they want to go when they go to heaven. You know, we know this is the excuse me. This is where everybody's saying they want to go. We're gonna skip around. Let's 21 and verse 1. Let's start there.
And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea.
Mm-hmm.
And now John saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband.
Okay, so here we go in the last chapter of the Bible, looking at the new heaven and a new. He said, "New heaven and a new earth. The first heaven and the first earth were passed, and there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city." Was we still talking about the holy city like they talking about now? But that city, Jerusalem over there, now ain't holy. But we still talking about Jerusalem. All the way back here. Coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. Let's skip around. So now we know that this is this New Jerusalem, and we're going to see what's going to be around this new city to even get up in here. Just to give a little description of it. Skip down and pick it up at, well, let's skip down and pick it up at verse 7.
He that overcometh shall inherit all things, and I will be his God, and he shall be my son.
Go ahead.
But the fearful and unbelieving, and the abominable, and the murderers, and the whoremongers, and sorcerers, and idolaters, and liars, shall have their part in the lake of fire, when the lake was burned with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. And there came unto me one of the 7 angels.
Okay. All right. So just to show, because people like to act like nobody's going into hell or hellfire, just to throw this in there, and they act like, hey, I can hear all the time, God just hate the act. He don't hate the person. But here it's telling you the fearful, unbelieving, abominable, murderers, whoremongers, sorcerers, idolaters, and all liars shall have their part in the lake of fire which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. So much for people just thinking God just hate that action. He hate what? He hate wickedness. That's what God hate. He said that out of his own mouth. People only show what God loves, but they don't never show what God say he hate. You know. So they'll just lead you to believe God just love everything. Oh, because that's the only part of the Bible they read. He hate a lot of stuff in here too. But that's another question. Let's skip down and let's get into this kingdom. Let's see what this kingdom, what John saw this kingdom look like. Skip down, pick it up at verse 10.
He carried me away in the spirit to a great and high mountain, and showed me that great city, the holy city, Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from God, having the glory of God, and her light was like unto a stone most precious, even like a jasper stone, clear as crystal, and had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates, and at the gates 12 angels, and names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
Okay, so we talking about this new Jerusalem, this new heaven with these golden gates that everybody is talking about they want to get in. And you mean to get into this kingdom, you still got to go by way of Israel? That's what this is showing. Because their names are going to be on the gates to remind you how you getting in here. You getting in here through Israel. That's why it said they had a great wall and high and had 12 gates. And at the gates 12 angels and names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. So their names are going to be all over this kingdom. So however you get in there, it's going to be by way of Israel. Go ahead, verse 13.
On the east 3 gates, on the north 3 gates, on the south 3 gates, and on the west 3 gates. And the wall of the city had 12 fountains, and in them the names of the 12 apostles of the Lamb.
Okay, so now we're getting into the 12 apostles. But he said the city had 12 foundations, and in them the names were of the 12 apostles. So, I mean, even to get into this kingdom, the Lord is going to remind you how you getting there. You know, and it didn't say it's going to have 12 names of Baptists. It's not saying it's going to have 12 names of Catholicism. It's not saying Muhammad name going to be there. It's not saying Islamic going to be there. I mean, I'm not poking fun. I'm just saying, to get into God's kingdom, you're only getting there by way of Israel. So how do we know, you know, from beginning of the book all the way to the New Testament, hey, we still talking about Israel and getting into this kingdom. Lord ain't forgot. His people might got the short end of the stick now, but hey, the Lord is going to fix all that. You know, he's going to fix all of that to those that's like we started off in Ecclesiastes 12, to fear him and keep his commandments. So I hope that kind of shined a light a little bit on that question. Okay.
We're gonna have to leave. I hate to have to get up and go, but awesome lesson today.
Lord,
Well, I
thank you.
enjoyed it. Hope we see
Okay.
you back again.
All
Have
right.
a safe trip back.
It's been my pleasure.
And have Have a good flight back.
All right, thank you.
Love you guys, and I'll see y'all next Saturday.
All right. Well, you had something you was.
I know they say on the Sabbath you can do good for people, something like that, or whatever. I was wondering, can you feed the homeless on the Sabbath or no?
Feed the homeless on the Sabbath? I don't see nothing wrong with giving a homeless person a sandwich or anything like that.
No.
I mean, I can't read anything that I can think of into it. I mean, of course, it's not against the law to feed somebody, as long as, you know, we keeping the Sabbath as what it's for. I wouldn't cook for them to do it, but just to give them some food, sure, why not? I mean, we give money to the homeless sometimes on the Sabbath. They come to church. I mean, that's part of doing good as far as the church goes. But yeah, I would keep it within the guidelines of the Sabbath. I wouldn't cook for them if that's what you're asking.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You got something else? Or? No.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just looking for it. It's in Matthew 24.
Matthew 24. Okay.
Particularly at verse 20.
Okay.
Is this in some way saying you should not travel on the Sabbath day?
Well, this is saying, but pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. Which let's go back up and see what they're getting at before they get to that point. Let's back up and go to 15.
When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet stand in the holy place, whoso readeth, let him understand. Let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains. Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house.
Okay, so this is an urgent situation that brought him down to that statement that was made, that he's talking about, hey, when you see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet stand in the holy place, whoso readeth, let him understand. So he's saying, let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains, let him which is on the housetop not come down and take anything out of the house, because it's an urgency. Go ahead, verse 18.
Neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day.
Okay, go ahead.
For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be.
Okay, so he's talking about fleeing before this great tribulation kicks in. And he's saying, pray that your flight be not in the winter, because he's talking about, of course, trying to flee in the wintertime is going to be tough, especially if you somewhere like I am that snow a lot. I don't know how much y'all get snow down here, but
Not as much as y'all.
right. But I mean that could be difficult, and neither on the Sabbath day, because I mean, as far as the statutes of the Sabbath day and spending money and different things to try to get out, I mean, it would make it tough to flee on the Sabbath day. You know, but as far as personal travel, I mean, that's probably more like what he's talking about. You know, because no, we don't do any personal traveling on the Sabbath day.
Okay.
So in general, you shouldn't, like, aside from, coming to Bible study, personal travel for your own whatever, you shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, I try to keep it limited personally. I don't, I mean, if I'm on a trip, I try to be there already, even if the Sabbath fall on my trip. You know, like a vacation or something. You know, I'm trying to get there Thursday or Friday during the day, and just if the Sabbath fall, and I'll be there and just be able to do it, you know, keep the Sabbath or whatever I'm doing there, instead of taking a flight on the Sabbath or something like that. So, I mean, sometimes it could, you know, it could get in the way, so to speak, but it can be worked out where you can, you know, most of the time travel. But, you know, I try not to do any kind of personal travel on the Sabbath personally. Yeah, so hopefully that answers that. Do we have anything else? Or? Okay, well, we can read over some more. I don't want to let it go that easy. Let's read some more into this flight. Let's pick it up at 22 since we're here too.
And except those days should be shortened, there should be no flesh. There should be no flesh saved.
Mm-hmm.
But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened.
Okay, so thank goodness the Lord is recognizing that man is screwing up his world to that capacity that he's going to have to come and intervene. Because if the Lord don't come and intervene during this great tribulation, hey, man is going to be pushing buttons, trying to let off bombs, and they itching to do it. You know, they itching to do it. Somebody's itching to do it. You know, we just got over the big scare of South Korea itching to try to get in there, threatening to push some buttons, you know. And if they do got it under control, they ain't going to be the last country to want to do it, you know, because, hey, somebody else going to step up, big or small, and want to push some buttons. So, hey, the Lord said, hey, unless these days be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved. Because man will kill off everything. We think we live in a civilized world, but this world is far from civilized. But he said, for the elect's sake, those days should be shortened. So because of Israel, because the Lord made a promise to Israel, he can't kill all flesh. He got to save somebody from each tribe, all 12 tribes. Because that was his promise to Abraham. So yeah, he got to come and intervene and shorten them days. Go ahead, 23.
Then if any man shall say unto you, Lo, here is Christ, or there, believe it not.
Mm-hmm.
For there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. Behold, I have told you before.
Okay, so now he's talking about these false Christs, saying, hey, here's Christ, or there, believe it not. He's saying they don't believe in all these false Christs. You know, especially this son of perdition, because he's going to be the ultimate false Christ. You know, coming along and telling the people that he is the one. Come and work these magic tricks that he going to do, and just basically deceive the whole world to believing that he is that Christ. You know, so hey, their job is to deceive the very elect. Go ahead, verse 26.
Wherefore, if they shall say unto you, Behold, he is in the desert, go not forth. Behold, he is in secret chambers, believe it not. For as the lightning cometh out of the east, and shineth even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
He said, hey, don't you believe? Somebody come telling you Jesus out in the desert. He said, don't go there. Don't believe him out there. Behold, he in the secret chambers. He said, don't believe that not. You got something, sister?
Yeah. You know what they give the description of Jesus? You know, hair like wool, feet like bronze. Well, we know that, or from what, you know, I've learned over the past maybe 2 years, the abomination and the desolation is probably going to be someone that comes to maybe out of Rome. Because the the description of Christ is given, how can you take this lily white priest or whatever he is, what you call him? What is he? Pope.
Mm-hmm.
And him say, I'm God, I'm Jesus. You have to be really stupid to believe that because he ain't got no woolly hair and his feet ain't bronze.
All right.
He's like white as the ceiling.
Yeah, well, they fall for it. I just got
Like,
partially watching a documentary of, what is that cult leader name? That popular one. Where he killed. It was just on like a week or two ago.
Not the Satan Church.
Jim Jones. Yeah, just watching that documentary. And I mean, he ain't bronze either. But all them people followed him and to the death, you know. 'Cause they thought he was, I mean, he ain't the only one. It was others. And none of them look like us because we ain't going to do nothing like that. I mean, we do some crazy mess with a size of self-destruction. You know, we ain't trying to do that to ourselves personally. But, I mean, yeah, we've been deceived over and over and over. And people, they fall for that. They looking for the miracles. They looking for a sign, you know. And that's what the world fall for. That's what Jesus told them. You know, they seeking after a sign.
so even though, like with all these denominational churches, the ones that are in Sunday church, they'll actually believe that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
That's what Jesus told them. Let's flip back to Matthew 16. You know, they'll believe anything. You know, they'll believe anything except for the truth. Let's start Matthew 16 and 1.
The Pharisees also with the Sadducees came, and tempting desired him that he would show them a sign from heaven. And he answered and said unto them, When is it evening? Ye say, it will be fair weather, for the sky is red, and in the morning it will be foul weather today. For the sky is red and lowering. O ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky, but ye cannot discern the signs of the times.
See, I mean, Jesus asked them a question. You can tell the weather, you can warn the people all this bad weather and stuff, and all this, but you can't tell the sign of the time. You can't even tell, like you saying, what color that the Jesus you say you worship is supposed to be. Because they've been lied to for so long. I mean, when is that what's his name, drew that Mona Lisa and all that? I mean, Michelangelo drew that thing so long ago, people, hey, they done forgot all about that. That was just a painting to make some money. He ain't really make no money after he died. You know, so I mean, world have forgot all about that stuff. You know, they just take that picture and hey, that's my Jesus. You know, blind, blue-eyed. You know, look at him. And but he also told them something else about this sign, because they can't tell the sign of the times, but they want a sign for him to prove that he's who he is. But when this abomination of desolation pop up, they ain't gonna ask him for no sign. They ain't gonna say, "Hey, give us a sign that you who you are." He gonna do some wicked magic. They gonna fall for it. Put a permanent mark on their forehead and right hand and be bowing down, kissing his ring or whatever they do. But go ahead, verse 4.
A wicked and adulterous generation seek after a sign, and there shall no sign be given unto it, but the sign of the prophet Jonas. And he left them and departed.
He said, "Hey, y'all want a sign for this and that, but I ain't gonna give y'all no sign. I'm gonna give y'all the sign of the prophet Jonas, and you're gonna believe or you not, or not. You know, it's your choice. But this is it as far as signs. Like I said, they can tell anything else. They can tell you why the volcano is erupting in Hawaii. They can tell you anything going on in this world, but they can't even tell you the color of Jesus or tell you when the seventh day of the week is. People will suck that up and like, Man, you know, we just don't know. All the technology we got and all this, I think it's been about 10 years ago when that cloning had got popular. And I had read this article that they said, hey, there was some DNA on that cloth that was left in Jesus' tomb, and we're going to use it and clone Jesus. I've been waiting ever since to see the clone because I want to see what it's going to look like. I ain't never read another article since then. It might have been more than 10 years ago. But I still been waiting on this clone, but I want to see. That clone will probably never pop up, especially if it come out looking like me. They're going to probably throw it in the garbage. Man, that must have been a fake, you know. And it probably could be the real deal. They're like, that's fake. We start over and find something else. They ain't finna try to hear that. You know. It's not finna try to hear that. That's crazy. Anybody have anything else? Or?
Mine is just verify understanding. As far as when they say, just a time frame as far as when they say fleeing to the wilderness. My understanding is the Lord is going to come back on the day of atonement, correct? And the tribulation is 3.5 years. So if you count back 3.5 years, that's when the guy's going to stand in the holy place. Is that, and it also has a time where, is that the time, that's going to be the time where he stops the sacrifice going into, and he stands into the holy place. So, I don't know, I've been counting back, like, I've been looking at every atonement. It seems like, if you count back 3.5 years, around that time, it kind of falls into the wintertime anyway.
Well, I mean, you got 3.5 years. I mean, that one, I'm not that strong on the day of the Lord as I want to be. But you got a little bit more time. I mean, there's really no way to count back. Because you got an extra 6 months in there when the sky is just wide open and they're going to be standing up looking at God and so forth and so on. So there's going to be a whole lot going on. And that whole time period for the day of the Lord and the blowing of the trumpets and all that is going to be a little bit more than the 3.5 years. We know the tribulation is 3.5 years. But the whole entire get up of what's going on is going to be a little bit more than that.
Okay. Question to you in particular. Say, I don't know, this hypothetically, let's say, let's say the day when let's say they start killing animals today. So we got 30 days before it stops. We know that. Do you go over there to Jerusalem beforehand and get ready to run? Or do you wait till the man stands in the holy place and then try to get there from America?
I mean, for sure, when you start hearing seriously about him moving over there, you want to be gone. Now, once he in there, that's it. I mean, a lot of things could be upbringing of that. You know, they want to declare Jerusalem as their capital now. Well, they ain't do it, but Trump did it, and, you know, I mean, all this could be a piece to a puzzle that's going to happen. Yeah, they already started sacrificing. Yeah, they already found a red heifer some years ago. Yeah, they cloning that red heifer. I mean, all these things we done read about, and they just about got it down to a science where they want to build a temple at. 'Cause that got to be done. You know, so I mean, there's a lot of things that's going for. That's a piece to the puzzle. You know, but definitely before he move over there, we want to be gone. So I mean, we'll know because it's only going to be a short window to get to the wilderness. You know, when you hear something somewhere, read something, hey, free flight to the wilderness, you better be on that ship. Don't delay, because that's something that's not common anyway. Who want to go to the wilderness? You know, ain't no way to get there now. You can't walk there. You be dead before you get there. You know, you can't drive out there. You're going to be out of gas before you get out there. But before he get in there and stop you from buying and selling without taking that mark, yeah, you want to be there, because once that mark come out, you stuck. You know, yeah, we know it's going to be some of us that's going to get stuck on purpose. It got to be. But somebody got to be here to teach the word. You know,
But
it's
that's
going
what
to be...
we meant, right? The women.
Hey, women evangelize too. That's a good question, but women evangelize. And hey, some of them people that laughed at us to scorn before, they're going to be looking for you. Where's sister or brother? We looking at this stuff, what is going on? Because some of these Christians ain't going to fall for that mark. A lot of them are. A lot of them going to be lined up fighting, probably pushing each other out of line. Give it to me. But some of them ain't going to fall for it. Because God bless them that, hey, if they come out of it, that might be they final chance. That's what we know if they take that mark. That's it. Ain't no more coming back from that. That's over with. So yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a lot to that day of the Lord. Yeah, I would bring it up to somebody that might could put it all together for you. But for me right now, I just know bits and pieces of it, and I know it's going to be a long day. Because of course, that's going to be more than one day that the Lord called the day of the Lord. You know, the trumpets being blown and all that. All that's longer than what it seems. You know, it's going to be a process.
So do you believe that the ones that are like keeping God's commandments, statutes, and laws, God will reveal to us the understanding with all this so-called fake news? You know, we watch something on the news talking about, oh, Pope moved to Jerusalem. You know, like, are we gonna know that that's real news, or how do you?
Oh, for sure. I mean, when the Pope do all that, he don't want that to be. That's gonna be publicized. That's gonna be a great big deal. Publicize it quicker than they will a statue crying or something. You know, they like to bring that out. They got to advertise that kind of stuff. So yeah, you know.
Being that he's over the Vatican and stuff, right?
I mean, you would know. I mean, hey, when that temple go up and other events happen, you gonna know. You gonna know before he steps in that office that hey, it's close to going down. You know, you gonna know it's real news. Mm-hmm. So yeah, hopefully that shine a little light on that question. I guess if nobody have nothing else, we can.
What time is it?
A little time, but
Before we mess up.
You want to be around 5 or 5:15 or something?
probably leave about 5. So, well, we mess up. I mean, I know y'all got some good home cooking down here. All right. Well, if nothing else, we can go ahead and turn out question and answer.
Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever.